A happy way to start this beautiful Friday, 3 October 2025. The Battle of the Chin-Length Hair, Milo Ventimiglia versus Joe Alwyn. So here I, Tanis, she, her, hers of Seattle, ruminate about who had the better approximately chin-length hair. Milo Ventimiglia in the 2007 music video for Big Girls Don't Cry by Fergie versus Joe Alwyn in the 2019 film Harriet. Yes. So here, approximately hair length is like hair that falls at full extension to approximately the chin, so like kind of like this region, like the end of the hair, are classified as chin length, and they're both approximately chin length hair in their performance. Milo Ventimiglia is one where I remember seeing the music video for Big Girls Don't Cry back when it came out, you know, watching VH1 MTV. I was still in high school. And he was, the same year as that doctor appointment I talked about yesterday. And he was one where I saw it and I remember being like, I feel like he is the most beautiful man I've seen. I grew up competing in swimming and guys didn't have hair like that, and I just remember seeing him and I was like, he's so beautiful. And he's one in his and it was a well-tempered, he's so beautiful. I was like, it's heartfelt. And he's one, it was the music video where some of it looked kind of like it was photoshopped or video shopped, and I was like, watch there be like they film it apart and then like edit it together or something, like video shop it together or something. And if they do stuff like that in Hollywood, or they have body doubles, Milo Ventimiglia, in the music video, 2007 music video for Big Girls Don't Cry, it's the individual in the performance where I figured it all out. And when I figured it all out back in 2007 on some basic level. Of like how that might actually work if that corresponds to actual reality. Okay, and then the other person here is Joe Alwyn. I've covered him. I've covered some of Milo Ventimiglia. He was in The Art of Racing in the Rain, car racing movie. So I've covered at least one of his films, roles in addition to covering it here. Joe Alwyn I've covered a few times at movie level and individual level. And so this is one I've previously commented on this one. It portrays a slave owner in the 2019 film Harriet, and I remember watching it, and I remember, so I'm not like the biggest on like golden haired blondies and that kind of thing. I remember watching it and being like, this is so frustrating. He is a good looking man and I don't like men that look like that, and he's playing a slave owner, and kind of like he does a really good job playing the slave owner. And I just remember as like for each of these roles, so I've talked about that before, but it was, how do I say, sometimes having somebody who looks really good and does a really good execution, does a very well executed performance, can help on taking and contextualizing, instead of being like, instead of an imbalance in performance level, when it's balanced across the scale, can allow me to like being like, do I understand this and why this dynamic existed in the past from different perspectives? And so by him executing the slave owner perspective, it allows me to be like, try and work through like, you know, social stereotype or prejudice against, you know, what they had to be like. So in that sense, for each of these guys, each opened my heart with what they did. Perhaps that is part of love. So they took something like, you know, a lot of people kind of look down on music videos, or especially that music video, like it couldn't have been anything, important. And I was like, music video was the format where I, it broke through to me how this might actually work, body doubles and video editing and stuff like that. And Joe Alwyn was a breakthrough in like me just being like, maybe I should try and understand the slave owner perspective, instead of being prejudiced against it. And so for that, each opened my heart with what they did. And perhaps that is part of love. As for who had the better chin-length hair, which does factor in here rather strongly, I'm actually going to stick with the guy I did not forget even when I got my long-term memory loss amnesia. I'm going to stick with Milo Ventimiglia in the 2007 music video for Big Girls Don't Cry.